All right, we're live again. So, hello everybody. So, in this episode today, we're going to be talking about attraction and influence. So, no matter what industry anyone's in, or even personal life, we don't need to know, but it's good to know a lot about attraction and influence. So, we're going to talk about three subjects, but they all align into the same thing. The first one we're talking about is who do you want to attract? Because there's no point learning how to attract people and influence people if you don't even know who you're trying to attract and influence. And we've got your emotional image and its effect. And then I'll just add Rick in here. And then we've got how to be in the room you're in. So all of these sort of align with each other and work in part of pretty much attract who you want to attract. And that can be any industry. So good morning, Nolita.
Hey, Nolita.
Morning. Morning.
So,
it's morning for good morning.
So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to go around. I'm going to pick on Marlon first, just because I like to pick on Marlon. And, and I'm going to ask Marlon the question, who do you want to attract? So it can be online or it can be offline, doesn't matter. Who do you want to attract, the type of people you want to attract, and why?
Well, people that are in the same niche as me, and that's the make money online niche. People who are, sick and tired of being sick and tired of, their life, and want to change their lives and, attain financial freedom. People who are just hurting. Identifying their pain points and helping those people to achieve whatever dreams that they might have. We all have dreams, right? And those are the people I want to attract. Those who really are prepared to help themselves, in the make money online niche, and they've got to really, really want to be prepared to help themselves because. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, right? And so, yeah, basically, anybody really who really wants to change their lives, who wants to achieve not just financial freedom, but mostly time freedom. So that's, that it might be people who want to retire from their job earlier, sick of working, the daily grind of 40, 50, 60 hours a week for the next 30, 40 years. And then in most cases, according to stats, retire broke. People who want to, they might want to, build their dream home or go on a dream trip. Just basically people who are really serious about wanting to change their lives financially to achieve, time freedom, financial freedom, to create a life that most people can only dream about and are willing to take consistent, fearless action. That's the kind of people I want to attract and help in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyone as well, while you're here, if you feel free to answer the questions in the chat as well. So get involved if you want to, let us know who do you want to attract. I'll jump to you now, Rick, if you can explain the type of people you are trying to attract.
I guess probably the best way I'd like to describe it is you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, here you
okay,
go.
All right, good. Okay. Everybody has a vision of how they want their life to be. Okay, so it's like, most people get stuck in the normal 9-to-5 grind, and they're doing what everybody in their family has always done, but yet they know that they have something more that they want to share with the world. Okay, because everybody has their own unique individual talent. And the people I'm trying to attract are those people that are looking to make a difference by using the talents that they have, because they want to pay it forward to other people. And at the same time, because there's a lot of people that have the gift, where they're an artist or something, but yet they're working at Walmart or something, stocking shelves, and yet that's not their true calling. What their true calling is what they, what their gift is. In this case, it would be like an artist, whether it could be a musician or a painter or, even somebody who does poetry or something like that. So with my business, I mean, my initial thing was to focus on helping, you know, entrepreneurs or somebody who had a vision to make something more with their life, kind of like what Marlon's saying. They're, you know, they're kind of stuck with, you know, they want to make money. Okay, that's always important. But at the same time, is if you're doing something that you have a passion about, and it's something where, you know, that's going to actually make other people's lives better in the same process. You know, those are the type of people I want to help out, because with entrepreneurs, they have a lot of great ideas, but they just don't know how to share it. And with, you know, whether it's doing something on, you know, in most cases here, because with everything online now, you know, you have so much at your disposal, and it's, you know, a lot of people just like, okay, well, I have this talent, you know, how can I share it? And a lot of people don't know. Okay, and yeah, there are certain steps that you need to take in order to be able to get your share your vision with the world, but that's all part of entrepreneurship. Okay, and it's a lot of people say, well, you know, you're trying to make money online. Well, everybody's trying to make money, whether it's online or offline. That's everybody's goal, is to, you know, make money. But you know, why not do it with something that you have a passion about? You know, and that's where I'm trying to focus on the people that just, they have their ideas, but they're not sure quite how to go about doing it. But as I started doing that, I realized that, you know, you know, with my business, it also applies to existing business owners, because there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of places, like a lot of small businesses, like mom and pop shops, that they're not sure how to take their business to the next level. And it's almost like the same thing with an entrepreneur. You don't know how to start and where to go. But like with some of these smaller business owners, in that they don't know, you know, they're used to people walking in their front door or having a sales flyer, you know, how things were done, you know, 20 years ago. And that's not always conducive to them being successful or taking their business to the next level. So that's where I kind of, as I've kind of evolved here over the last 6 years, I've tried to focus on local small business owners, because like the bigger corporations, like, you know, you got Target, Amazon, Walmart, all those, they already have pieces in place to, you know, create their success and everything. But most people, like you go down the street, you know, go through like a strip mall, most of them people are still just doing business, you know, business the way they've always done it in the past. So that's where I've kind of branched out a little bit into that. And it's kind of had, like, it's been a mixed bag, but my main focus has always been to attract the entrepreneur, that person that has a vision of actually using their talent to create something better with their lives and enjoy. You know, if you're going to spend your life working or doing something, why not do it with what you enjoy and get paid for doing what you enjoy doing? You know, and so that's the main purpose in life. Because and that's kind of why when I started my business, I was actually working at Target. Okay. And it's like part of what I was doing, it was like literally deteriorating me physically. And, you know, and it's actually one of those things. There's one day I got home and I was like, you know what, God, I'm so tired of going. There's got to be something better for my life. There's got to be something more to it. And then it was really weird, because within a day, I get an email out of the blue from this one guy who's actually been my mentor now since like 2016. And out of the blue, I just got this email. I never even heard of the guy. And I'm like, it was just kind of you know, it just kind of like fell into place, so to speak. And that's kind of how I actually started doing what I'm doing today. But that's the main thing, is, you know, it's just to help those people that have a vision of sharing what they have, their gifts and their talent. And, you know, you can call it whatever you want to, entrepreneurship or make money online or whatever. But that's the main thing, is you know, be happy with what you're doing and getting paid to do what you're really gifted or talented with. Because you know, God gave each one of us a specific talent. Sometimes people just don't know what it is yet. You know, they have certain likes in that, but that's where, when you start connecting with somebody online and you do have a mentor that's actually going to work with you and not just shuffle you off into their support department, just contact support. No, you're following that person because you're connecting with that person and you want that person to help you. So that's what I would rather, personally. I know it's like, you know, when you're looking at make money online, or a lot of people, a lot of the big gurus, they would rather have 10,000 people, you know, sign up and do this or whatever with their program. Yet, you know, and maybe have, you know, 5% or 2% of those people have success. But I would rather have 10 people, you know, connect with me and me help them have their success instead of having that 10,000 people, which most of the people wind up getting ticked off and they go on to something else because it's not helping them any. So, yeah. All right, I'll get out my soapbox here and throw it back to Scott.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump to you now, Aid. It doesn't have to be business. It doesn't have to be that. It can be business, online, offline, whatever it is. But who is someone that you are trying to attract? What are the type of people you want to attract in your life?
Well, I'd actually like to stick with the business side of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I'm trying to build up an affiliate marketing business. And one of the biggest problems I have, because I'm fairly new to it, is finding other people like me who also want to recruit and refer people into my various businesses. So I'm looking to refer people who will also refer, because in the affiliate marketing world there are a lot of multi-level marketing strategies. So if I refer 2 people who also refer 2 people, that's, yeah, well, you do the math. But I struggle a little bit to refer people in the first place. So what I really, really need to do is bring people in under me who will also refer, and what they earn then passes up to me. But I also want to try and help them to learn how to refer themselves. I thought of something else while Rick was talking. I can't remember what it was now. But that's basically
right.
That's where I'm at with my business at the moment. Is I want to bring people in that will help me to build my business. But I know what it was. I also want to network with people like yourselves who have been in the affiliate marketing business for a lot longer than I have, and use their experience and learn from their experience to build my own network and affiliate marketing business. I think that's probably about as much as I can say about that.
No, pretty much. I know hard working, and the reason why I asked this specific question at the very start of this live, like you'll notice there was only one question in it, and that was this first one. And that's because I'll just see what Lorraine said before I go on. I want to connect with people who create posts about things that they are interested in. Yes. And that's what you do, Lorraine. So the reason I asked this specific question at the very start, and that's because anyone that knows who they want to attract know themselves. And when I ask this question to you, those thinking of who they actually want, so who do I want to attract, it's actually thinking of yourself. Everyone wants to attract like-minded individuals. And I notice with every single one, just correct me if I'm wrong, like every now and again I can be wrong, but if you understand yourself, you will understand who you are trying to attract. And that is very important, to look in who you are, because that is, with me, for an example, I want visionaries. I want people that can see, because I'm very vision orientated. Like everything I do, I think far ahead. I know it's just a habit. And I want others that can also think on that level, far ahead, and not so much what's now, what's today. And the reason why I want to attract those type of people is because that is me. And that's why I wanted to ask this question, like throw you in the deep end and pretty much get you to answer the question, because you proved it to me as well before we went on. So does anyone agree with this and have anything to say on it? Do you believe that who we want to attract is us, like yourself? Do you see that?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean,
yeah.
Because when you're able to connect with like-minded people, it's okay. How do I explain this? The best way, it's like, you feed off of them and they feed off of you, and together, that's where when you hear these people talking about a movement online, Okay, like it's like what you're trying, you know, you hear about that, you know, that concept, and that's kind of what, you know, with Web Talk Legends, what you're doing is you're creating this community of people that are on the same level. They, you know, they want the same end results, and so when you do that, you feed off everybody else's energy, and that it not only makes them better, it makes you a better person in the process, because we're, you know, everybody is growing continually every day. And that's where, like with my comment about, you know, want people that want to do something more with the vision they have for themselves. You know, with that, it's like, if you can help one person bring their vision and share it with the world, then other people are going to see that one person and they're say, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And they start to do it. So you have this domino effect. And that's what, like what we're saying with the like-minded, you know, like-minded people, that's what you're going to have, is you're going to have, then you're going to have a community, you're going to have, you know, hundreds, thousands of people that are all striving for the same thing, you know. And it's, like I said, with the domino effect, that's probably the best way to do it, because, you know, it is going to inspire others. And you do, I mean, I get inspiration from all you guys. And even like when people are sharing their thoughts in the chat and everything, it's nice to see that people are, you know, trying to connect, because, you know, we're sharing what we're, you know, our perspective on things. And then when other people are connecting in the chat, that's, you know, it's resonating with them. That's what it's showing, you know. And so it's still, it's all like this big wave, and you don't, people,
and that's what we want.
Yeah. And you don't realize that, it's, especially if you're starting out, you don't think like, well, how can I make a difference? Well, you can make a difference. It's just, you know, it's just, you know, a lot of times you just need somebody to guide you. And like with Eddie, he, you know, he's looking to, you know, doing the affiliate marketing. It's the same concept. You know, you want people on what your vision is, you're just not quite sure how to go about doing it. So as you bring more people into it, you get this big, like tornado or like, you know, whirlpool of people circling around together. And it does build up. But a lot of times people don't see that, because they think that, oh, well, who's going to listen to me? But yeah, somebody will listen. So, yeah.
Exactly. And that's one
also,
thing.
Sorry.
No, you're right. It's probably my internet.
It's also about talking to people in the way that they will understand what you're trying to put across. So in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, there are three types of people. There's people who are predominantly visual. There are people who are predominantly auditory, which I'm sure everybody understands. But then there's a third type of person who is kinesthetic, which means that their predominant sense is touch. Now, if you talk to somebody who is auditory in a very visual way, you're never going to explain to them what you're trying to do. So, for example, if you're trying to sell a car to somebody, you're a car salesman, and the person you're trying to sell the car to is auditory, and you say, come and sit in this car and feel how comfortable it feels, you're not going to sell it. But if they're visual and you say, stand over here and have a look at the sleek lines of this car, they're going to sell that car every time. So it's about knowing who you're trying to sell to and talking to them in their language. I hope I've explained that.
Yeah, no, you explained it good. That kind of ties into the next point that we're going to get into in a second. That ties into that. And yeah, the one thing as well, like when Rick was saying that the domino effect starts and people start getting attracted. Now, and from what Aid was saying as well, this both ties into the next thing, and that is your emotional image and its effects. So, for example, once you know who you are trying to attract, you can stop beating yourself up when you don't attract somebody, because they're obviously not who you're trying to attract. Okay, they're obviously not for it. So you don't have to say, "Oh, my brother didn't sign up. He's an asshole. He never listens to me." Blah blah. Because he's not. You're not trying to attract him. He's a different person. The ones that you are trying to attract, if you, like Rick said, if one likes lines better than the feel, like better than comfort, that emotional image, you are going to attract the same person in that same, subconsciously, without even knowing it. You're going to subconsciously attract the same person. Now, this is very important. If I know most of you would have had a job before, and you probably know that group of people that I call them the straight ups. Okay, I call them the straight ups because everyone knows them as straight up. Or you go to Bobby straight up, he'll tell you what he thinks. Now, these people, they form groups. Okay, they form groups around themselves from their own, from their subconscious. People see him, oh yeah, like this guy. What do? They form a group about bitching about other people or about talking about everything wrong with this person. They literally form groups like this. Now, you don't beat yourself up when you can't get one of them in your groups because they're not for your group. If they were to be at a conference, for an example, with a CEO of that company, that CEO is probably going to be talking, and you're the one that wants to interact with that CEO because you want to go up in your industry. Okay, and then people that are interacting with CEO, they're going to go up. They can be the worst workers. But the ones at the back with Bob, because they're the straight ups, okay, they're at the back. What are they doing? They're just waiting to go outside and complain about that person that was interacting, getting that job, and they didn't, and they work harder. Okay, that's their group. Now, when you are stuck in the middle trying to impress both sides, when you want to go up in the job, but hang on, you want to be friends with Bob because he's a straight up guy, you're going to hold yourself back because it's going to prevent you from interacting with that. And that gets into our third subject as well, so I won't go too far into it. So by beating yourself up with who you don't attract and not focusing on who you want to attract and who you are, you're only going to hold yourself back. And this is where I see, especially with referring, Aid, I'm glad you mentioned referring, because especially with referring, people's emotions are getting torn apart from those people that are not important, okay? They're important people, yes, but they're not important for what you want them, okay? If you are referring something or building something and people are saying no and you're letting that no get to you, you are letting those straight ups get to you when you are trying to rank up in your career or whatever it is in your life, okay? So knowing exactly what Aid said, knowing who you are approaching, and the reason I asked that question to start is because ask yourself that question. Anyone outside of that question, anyone outside of who you are, do not beat yourself up. You can approach them, yeah, but when they say no, or when they say, oh, it's a scam, or when they say this, that, who cares? Move on. They're not your type of people. So so your emotional image and its effects. Anyone got anything to say on this area?
Yeah, you're actually better off without those people because those people aren't going to help you build your business. If their instant reaction is, you've tried to refer me into your business, but I think it's a scam, they're just going to tell everybody else it's a scam, even though it isn't. So forget them. Move on. Move on to the person who does like your business, who thinks your business is great, and work with that person because they will refer more people who will build your business and help you to build your business. But anybody that's negative in the first place, they're not going to help you build your business. They're going to destroy it. So focus on the people who want to work with you, not the people who are working against you. Leave the people who are working against you.
I think it was Eric Worre, the one of the big MLM gurus. He said,
I know.
Some will, some won't. Then what next? Basically, you say when it comes to a referral type program or MLM, it's a numbers game. And I remember when I was briefly in Amway, they mentioned you want to attract like-minded people, basically your level and above. Yeah. Your ambition level and above, your positive, like-minded people.
Yeah, that's you're 100% right there, Marlon. Because they're always saying that your 6 closest people that you are your closest friends, you're gonna like if you have this vision to be a millionaire or something, or you want to share this vision with the world, but yet your friends are just content with working, you know, 9 to 5 every single day, and then on Friday and Saturday they go to the bars or whatever to do whatever, you know, they're not on the same level you are. You're up here because this is where your vision is, and their vision is like, well, no, I'm okay just doing what I'm doing. This is how it's always been. This is how it's always going to be. So they look at you like you're some alien or something, you know, where, you know, what's this guy thinking? And it's true. They try to, you know, they necessarily, they care about you, but they won't necessarily support you, because if they, you know, if you get to where you want to be, this millionaire, or share your vision with the world and make something different, then these other people are like, well, Rick went somewhere. Where'd he go? Well, you know, so what they're going to do is they're going to try and like hold you back. And what, you know, as far as like the emotional end of things, yeah, it can get frustrating, because you put your heart and soul into sharing something with people, and then, you know, you don't get the response that you initially thought you were going to get. Like, I mean, if you have like, if you're doing, say, if you're a salesman or something, and you put your pitch into somebody and they don't buy from you, you know, like car salesmen are, they're their own breed. Same, and, you know, it's like, but to them, you're just another person. But like when, you know, when you're trying to connect with somebody and actually share your opportunity, yeah, it can get disheartening. And the biggest thing that I can encourage people to do is just take it as a learning experience, and, you know, share the opportunity, and just say, if they're saying, no, it's a scam, or, you know, like Edison, you know, it's a scam, or they're not interested in, say, all right, well, at least you know about it. Yeah, you know, exactly. if you know, you know, if you know somebody that's interested in it, let me know. But if you're not, that's okay, and just move on. Yeah. You have to actually, and that does take effort. Like just real quick, like 2 weeks back, I was out of town, you know, trying to look for a different place to stay, a place to move. And I had shared a few opportunities that I'm involved with now, and a lot of them, one of them is a total free thing. And it's like, I spent like an hour here and there talking to certain people, and like, yeah, I'll check into it. And they never do. Okay. And it's like, you want that gratification, you know, when you see somebody take action, but at the same time, don't focus more on just sharing it, you know, because not everybody knows everything in the world. So it's like, if you share something with them that they're not aware of, at least they have that knowledge, you know, and if they resonate with it, and, you know, they want to connect with you or whatever you're doing, then yeah, that's great. But don't let it beat you down, because you know, you will spend trying to share your opportunity or whatever you're doing in life, trying to share it with people. You are going to get, I would say, probably 9 out of 10 times, it's going to not be the result that you want. But don't take that personally. It's just that they're not, you know, they're not on the same level as with you. Same like with your friends. If your friends aren't supportive of what you're doing, don't condemn that for that. That's just their way of thinking. So you just move on to the next person, and you eventually put together this group of people that are, like you're saying, you know, like you're saying, Scott, that's like-minded people, and you are going to build that energy, and you're both going to, you know, everybody's that's on the same level as you. You're going to take your business and their business, and together you're going to move forward. It's like with Together We Rise, that concept, you know, it's true.
Yeah.
But just
you got to find out where people are at in their lives,
right?
Whether they're happy or content with their lives, or whether they're not. Mm-hmm. And then once you establish that, their pain points, then you can work from there.
Yeah.
You know.
I also think one of the worst things you can do is try and promote to family and friends. Promote to people you don't know. Because family and friends are just going to get annoyed with you for pushing your business and they're not interested. So
I spend my family and
friends. Go and talk to people you don't know, because it's far easier to promote something to them, and it's far less emotionally disturbing when they say no.
There is a reason for that.
It doesn't matter.
I only do it just to you know, to get that part out of the way. So, you know, I only share it with my family and friends to give them the opportunity first to tell me no, yes or no. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
At least I'm giving them the opportunity.
One thing as well with family and friends, you got to realize, like, they're going to say no. Most of them are going to say no. You get them. I've got everyone. But at the start, they're always going to remember, if I was to make a mistake right now, a real big stuff up or something, like my hat flew off and everyone's seen it, this Zoom would be known for that. Like everything else we spoke, it's gone. My hat flew off. It was funny. I banged my head on the wall. Something like this. This Zoom would be known for that. Okay? And you got to remember, that's how you are known with anyone that previously knew you before that. They're going to remember every one of your mistakes, everything bad that's happened in your life. That's the story. If you notice, most people, when they're talking about things about the past and stuff, it's not about, hey, remember that time you helped that lady? You know, it's not about that. It's about, oh, remember that time when this and this happened and then you fell over? Okay, they're remembering mistakes. And it's just nature, I suppose. Like you pick up on when a cockroach moves, you see it, you notice it because nothing else was happening, and then all of a sudden something happened out of the ordinary. Media uses it. The news, what do they report? Everything bad, because no one's going to watch the good. That's just the way everything is. But in saying that, so I want to, because we've talked about who do you want to attract. So if you know who you want to attract, and that was the first question I asked everyone, who do you want to attract? Because knowing that is very important. And as Aid said, it is easier to talk to strangers. So then it comes to how do you find strangers? And that is the last thing that I've got, is how to be in the room that you are in and why. So what do I mean by this? You're building influence, you're building others, and you're networking. How do you network? You go to them. So I have been in MLM marketing Zooms, okay? Other companies' Zooms, to attract marketers from that Zoom into my networking web talk. Okay, I go places. Okay, I don't always bring everyone back, but majority of those around me I have brought back from another room. And the way I've done that is by going to their room, but not just going there. You can't just go to a Zoom and then the whole time just think, how am I going to sell to this person? How am I going to get that person to come? You've got to be present in the room. So I'll give Nikki as an example. Nikki got onto the Web Talk Legends pretty quick. Why did she get in the Web Talk? Why did she get noticed? She was present. The first 2 lives that we had here, all I could see was her comments the whole way up. Okay, that she was very engaged. And that's how you be in a room. You got to go and you got to be engaged in that room. So you're going to be nervous at the start, but go join a multi-level marketing program. Join a whatever industry you're in. If you're in surfing, go join a surfing club. Get engaged in that group. Okay, you got to be engaged and you got to be enthusiastic. So if I'm sitting there learning how to surf and I'm just like, oh, this is boring. I'm the straight ups in the corner. If you be the straight up in the corner and you're sitting there thinking about when's this going to end, you're not going to attract anyone, and you're in the wrong room. If you're like that, you're in the wrong room. So go into others' rooms, and engage, help. If there's something they ask a question, answer it, jump in that. Don't be the person at the back of the classroom. Okay, don't be that one that stays silent. Get in and get involved, even if you don't know. Ask questions if you don't know. All this sort of stuff. Be eye contact. So if let's just say there's someone at the front of your class or something, and they make eye contact with them, let them know I'm interested. I'm very interested, because what you're doing is you're putting off that emotional image that we previously talked about to everyone else that is interested in that subconsciously. Okay, they don't know that they're getting attracted to you, but subconsciously they are, because you are emotionally engaged with what you are doing. So their subconscious mind is already saying that is the person I want to go to. So when you leave that meeting, you don't have to ask them to come. They come. Okay, they come to you, and that's the attraction side of it. Especially a lot of us will use the excuse, oh, my following's not big. He gets that because his following's big. That person went to rooms and rooms and rooms and went here to this group and this group and this group. Okay, and once you know who you are, so once you know who you're trying to attract, go to their places. Okay, all of them. Go as many as you can. Don't buy into everything, but go there. Be engaged. Be in that room. So, any of you guys got something to say on this?
Rick?
Probably nerdy. I'll give you an example. All right. So I went, there's a product I joined. Okay. You would have noticed me promoted on Web Talk. Okay. It was called JN Jewelry. Now, when I was promoting JN Jewelry, I was cross promoting, and the way I was doing it, I was getting into the JN Jewelry network. And guess how many JN Jewelry people underneath me on Web Talk now? A lot. Okay, and what I did, I wrote it in the post, and I wrote it in the post in JN too. I literally went to JN, helped them, was engaged with them. And I'm not so much anymore. I've got to sort of get back in there. But I helped. Where I could help, I helped. Okay, I didn't ask them to come anywhere. They started coming. They started bringing friends because they were attracted to what I could offer. Where do I offer it? Majority on Web Talk. My help's on Web Talk. That's where, like, this gets posted on Web Talk most. That's where I am. So I go to their room. They get attracted to me because I'm emotionally engaged. And anyone can do this. There is a network you want in Web Talk, for example. I know you want 100,000 in your trend line. Guess what? There's networks out there of 1 million plus people. All you've got to do is go and engage on them, go and help them, work your way up in that network. They're coming. They will all come because they're already proven. Okay, so a lot of people, they want to persuade and like talk others into it, like, oh, you want to join this because this is what it's going to do for you, this, and this. But you don't need to because it's already networks. And I mean, big networks out there. Let's just say you were to join Avon and you got up to the top ranks in Avon. You just worked your way up, making friends, helping them, refer it. Like, get it, refer it. And then help them and work your way up. Once you're up there, you've got, that's your net, like your whole network. If you want 100,000 people in your Web Talk trend line, there you go, you've got them. So you don't have to go one person. You can literally go into heaps. And the more you don't know, okay, so when you go into a classroom, you're in there to learn, and the more you don't know, the more everyone's going to want to help you, okay, especially in network marketing. The more they're going to approach you. So the more you don't know, they're coming. And then what do you do? Well, can you come and just give me some advice? I'm building a Web Talk profile. Give me some advice. How could make this look more attractive? Blah, blah. They're going to come over and give you that advice. When they do, they're going to sign up and they're going to give you a recommendation because it's only going to help you, which is only going to help them, which is only going to bring them. Simple. Like, it's so simple to refer anything if you go for those already the same. So whatever it is, whoever you are, go to those. They're out there in abundance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I use Web Talk for. And it wasn't until I joined Web Talk that I discovered that that's exactly how you can build something by talking. Talk to people, network with people, join in. I'm not going to show you what I've got here.
I've got a big juice bottle with water.
Yeah.
Get involved with people. We talked a couple of weeks ago about brand building, and you, Scott, said to me that by being on here, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm building a brand, which is me. I've just listened very carefully to what you were just saying. I used to be the guy that used to sit at the back of the room and say nothing. Yeah. Now I'm the guy that comes on here and talks too much.
Well,
but that's how people are going to get to know me.
These have been getting about under 80 views, for example, and every single one of those 80s are coming for the same reason. Well, not every single one, but a lot of them are coming for Web Talk help or guidance or this sort of stuff. You look at the comments, okay, the comments are turned on. That's a really good hotspot to connect with like-minded people, but most people, they're at the back of the room. They don't want to get engaged, and that's just an example. Like you said, when you began going from when you're at the back of the room, okay, Aid, I'm going to use you as an example.
Yeah.
How was your results then till now that you're getting involved and getting into places? What's the difference in, have you noticed any difference?
Yeah, the difference is when I was the guy sitting at the back of the room saying nothing, I had no results at all. I didn't get any engagement. I didn't get any referrals, nothing. But now that I'm doing stuff like this, and I want to take this further, I want to start doing YouTube videos when I pluck up the courage. But I want to start doing YouTube videos and promoting myself as the brand. But the difference is, yes, I'm getting a lot more engagement with people now, and as a result, I'm getting more referrals, and I've got the courage now to push myself forward, to be the one that says something and says, yeah, listen, I've got this, or look, I've got this. I'm using the NLP example there of look, listen. Can you feel what I'm talking about? It's important to engage with people in as many ways as possible. And the more I'm engaging with people through whatever platform, the more the results are improving. I've still got a long way to go with it, because I started from way down at the bottom. I was a guy who wouldn't speak to more than 2 people in public. Now I'm coming on here and doing these lives, and I'm much more confident about it, and the results are coming, and they will get better.
You're looking at someone that couldn't check a mailbox if there was a car driving past, so don't worry, I know I've come from the same spot. So
yeah.
How much do you drink ahead of time, Eddie? No, with what Scott's saying, it's true. It can actually work for you 2 ways. Whether you're an authority in a room where you can help people out, or you lack the authority, you can still benefit either way. Because like what Scott's saying, when you ask for help, or, hey, I'm doing this, can anybody offer any advice? You put yourself out there, and they're like, nobody's going to look at people it's like they always say, don't be afraid to ask a question, because no question is stupid. It's not a dumb question, because you just want to know. So even when you're putting that, like the lack of authority thing, where you don't have to be this big guru, because not every single person you're going to listen to is an expert in their field. They even with what I do in certain aspects of my business, I'm maybe not the cream of the crop of the, where that's just my strict focus or whatever. I could, but everything that I share with people, I make sure I learn as much as I can about it first. That way, when somebody asks me a question, I can just give them an answer, not say, well, hold on a minute, I'll get back to you. And then you never get back to the person because you don't know the answer. So like in this case here, when you're engaging, like Scott's saying, with different groups and that, you don't have to necessarily, and that's where I think a lot of people tend to not do that, because they don't feel they have something to offer. Okay, but you might not necessarily have something to offer, but just by raising your hand and saying, can somebody help me with this, or this is what I'm doing, can somebody add some insight? People are going to see that, and then what that's going to do is create that interaction with you and those people that are trying to help you. And then I don't think I've ever looked at it. I've never looked at anybody who asks a question as being, a lesser person because they didn't know, they're trying to find out, because it's impossible to know every single thing in life. But this is, as far as with, your reaction, I've heard this taught many times in different things over the last 2 years, and specifically where, like, engaging, like on LinkedIn, I'll just use LinkedIn as an example. They're one of the tips that some of these alleged gurus out there, they're encouraging people to follow some of the bigger name, like Tony Robbins or Gary V. But the more you interact on their feeds, because they're so active, people will start seeing you on there. And so then they're going to, it's going to trigger in their mind that when they see your name, oh yeah, this person does this type of thing, or yeah, this person follows this person, they're kind of like me. And you start building that indirect network. And it's like Scott's saying with the subconscious, it's 100% true. And this is something that I've been dying to share this, although I just found out about it. It was something that I was listening to on Saturday. This guy named Joe Dispenza, and he does a lot of the, I guess, kind of the research and stuff as far as people's mindset and everything. Okay, I'll just put it that way in a nutshell. And what he said is, a lot of times when people ask you how you're doing, what you're doing is, most times people will say something negative that happened. or also say, yeah, I'm doing great, and they'll just leave it at that, but it's not necessarily the truth. But if somebody asks you how you're doing or what are you working on or whatever, don't necessarily pull up the negative aspect of it. Don't talk about what's happened, talk about where you're going. Because when you pull up something that's happened, like say, oh, I tried to do this and it failed. Well, subconsciously, you're creating that impression again on your subconscious that you failed at something. Whereas if if somebody asks you how you're doing or what you're working on, and you're saying, oh, I've got this vision, this is where, 5 years from now, this is what I'm gonna do. But don't say like 5 years. I'm working towards this goal. And I've spent the last 6 months working towards this, and everything's coming along great, because you're putting yourself into the future, even as you're talking to that person. So subconsciously, you're encouraging yourself, and it's that positive emotion. Whereas something that happened that's bad or negative or whatever, or you feel inferior about something, that's re-impressions your subconscious. And so it gets into this vicious cycle where, in order for you to actually take that next level and become the person who you are, you do have to step out of what's happened in the past and look towards the future and share that with people. So like with this, in getting back to circling around back to what we're talking about here. So like, if like Scott's saying, use the example of, I'm trying to create this page on WebTalk, and, can somebody give some advice or whatever. You could say, I'm trying to do this because I see this happening, and share what your vision is. And not only is that going to attract people to say, well, wait a minute, this guy's actually looking towards the future, building something and making it better. That's going to attract people because they like, use an example of a visionary. Whereas if you're saying that, you can just kind of put it in, always do it in a positive tense, where I'm doing this because of, I see this happening a year from now, or I'm trying to build this organization, or I'm trying to build this group of people or this community or whatever. So it's something where you always take it in that positive sense, opposed to, well, instead of saying, well, I'm trying to build this web page for WebTalk, and all the ones I've done in the past have been crappy, and then nobody liked them, and everybody just made fun of them. See, right there, it's negative. And that's on your subconscious, that's negative. And that's giving a negative feeling to that person. So it's like, you don't want that person saying, well, I'm going to help this guy out because he's a loser and he doesn't know what he's doing. No, if you say, I want to create this page for WebTalk because I see WebTalk being at this level in a year from now, and how I'm going to be able to help tens of thousands of more people, then they're going to be, it's like a totally different, it's like a 180 perspective, it's a totally different. So if you can do that when you're even asking questions, or else like you're saying, this is, or you go to help somebody, say, well, this is why, this from my experience is how it can help you. And this is what you can do when you have this, take it to this level. I mean, without having like a specific example here in mind, but you can always create that authority on what you know, but don't try to talk, when you're answering somebody's question that they ask you something specific, be honest. We've talked about that before, tell what you know. And if you don't know something, you can also say too is, well, this is what I know about it, but if, I can always find out more information and get back to you. But the key there too is to get back to the person, just don't leave them hanging. And I've had that happen a lot to me in the past. And it does get frustrating, because that's why a lot of people don't try, is because at some point they did, and they never made that next step to the next level of success. So they go back to, well, I guess I'm just stuck here working my 9-to-5 job, unboxing packages at Walmart, that type of thing. So yeah, it's like, as far as being in the room with people, it's like, you can learn so much just by listening, but at the same time, nobody's going to notice you or see what you have to offer if you never raise your hand and ask that question. Okay. Or if you never share what you've learned with other people, they're never going to know who you are. And that's all part of sharing your whatever talent with the world. So that's kind of my take on that, Scott.
Yeah, well, be seen, be seen is probably the most important part of anything online. If you're not getting seen, you're not getting results. It's pretty much that simple. But what you were saying at the start, if you were given some advice on those that feel inferior, inferior of someone, There's actually a trick that I use. I used to use. I don't so much anymore because when I'm in a conversation now, I pretty much try and dominate that. But there was a trick when I first started off, and it will work probably, I don't know, 80 to 90% of the time. Now, it's when you come across someone and you're talking to someone one-on-one. AIDS went. Yeah, if you're talking to someone one-on-one, I didn't know if I was. If you're talking to someone one-on-one and if you feel inferior to them, if you believe they're superior to you, there is a little psychological trick you can use on them, which works. Okay, and it works like a charm. What you do is you write something like after you've finished talking, whatever. Don't mention your opportunity or whatever, but something that's free. So like WebTalk, it's a good one to use. It's not going to work for paid things, but you say to them, you say, hey, could you do me a favor? Or, hey, could you check into something? And then before they get a chance, to write back, say, actually, never mind, you're probably too busy. Okay, you say that. And then they're going to ask you, no, what is it? And you say, oh, no, it's okay. No, you're busy. It's all right. And then they'll push again. And when they push again, you have just made them feel obligated to fulfill what. So then you say, well, I just want you to check out this thing for me, just let me know what my profile looks, or I was just going to ask for a recommendation, but I know you're busy. Something like this, something that's going to get them to sign up that, because you've just went from chasing them to them asking to give you a favor. Okay, now they want to give you the favor, and it's kind of a bit sneaky, but it works. And it's worked for me many times. So that's a little trick if anyone, but you've got to get them coming at you. So you've got to oh, no, don't worry about it. No, tell me. Once you're at that stage, boom, you've got them. They're yours. They're underneath you.
Is that like sort of like piquing curiosity?
Yeah, well, it's more. I don't know why exactly it works, but they tend to feel obligated to fulfill what they're going at. So because they've coming aggressive at you, they feel obligated, especially because you see them as inferior, and they subconsciously pick up that you are seeing them as superior to them. So they want to keep that image. So they don't know they're doing it. It's all subconscious working, but it works.
That's great psychology. That's great psychology. Love it. I just had to write that down.
Yeah, it will work. Trust me, do it. You'll get heaps. I did it all the time, especially when I first started on Web.
But it doesn't work for paid programs.
It depends how rich. If they got a lot of money, it might. I don't know.
Well, I think
it's a good tactic to bear in mind for anything, really. Just you might have to reframe it, work it in a different way, rephrase it, but the same overall tactic will work. Yeah. Just
I'm good at
curiosity approach.
Yeah.
Type yes in the chat or the comments if you want us to do a whole thing on tactics. We'll have to all just write down everything that's worked and
I don't know. I guess you've made it, but depending on how many people spam your posts when you put something out there. Like if you have more than one person spamming you must be pretty popular because they think that's how they're going to get noticed. And that's actually it's kind of ironic, but ever since we've been doing these the Web Talk Legends shows and that it's I've had more and more people spamming my posts, and it's like I've tried to keep calm on those, but that is a pain point, but it's at the same time
I can understand.
It's sorting itself out for us. We're finding out who we got to block before we're too big and we can't keep up.
But that's the thing is it's I've noticed too, because I've over the past year, Bob Proctor has these things. It seems like almost every month now or every other month. And and I go to him because even though I've heard a lot of what he says, each time it's like he'll have 90% the same thing, but there's that 10% that's different, and it's like it creates that aha moment type thing. But I see the same people on there, you know, and I've had some just by you interacting with some, you know, like an event like that. Usually his are like 3 or 4 days, or it's like a week-long thing, but it's an hour each day. But you see people, the more people see you on there. I've had people reach out to me just from seeing me on there. Oh, I noticed, I've seen you, you know, attending the Bob Proctor thing, you know, this, you know, so they're just, you know, you do have to make yourself, like, you know, as kind of circling back to everything here is, yeah, make yourself be there, but not in a negative way. Okay. You know, don't feel like asking a question is bad, you know, because more than people, what I've noticed on those is anytime somebody has a question, instead of just like one person answering it, you have like 10, 12 people throwing out their answers right because they're seeing what that person's asking. And so that shows you how much people are looking to help other people. And, you know, in this case here, there, you know, a lot of times people, because of, you know, spammers and a lot of stuff that happens now, people have their guard up. It's like, well, this person's only trying to help me because they're going to ask me to do something. No, there's a lot of people out there that will gladly help you. And, you know, they're not going to think anything less of it. But at the same time, it does, like I said, whether you're an authoritative person or somebody who has less authority are just starting out, everybody started out somewhere. Yeah. So don't ever feel like that you can't do something because you don't have what it takes. Everybody really does have the gift to do what they really want in life. It's just a matter of getting that push and the support. And it may not be like your family or friends, but if you connect with somebody, yeah, if you believe that you can do it and you connect,
that's, you know, the key word, belief.
Yeah. And then you connect with somebody that can actually help you or push you or guide you to following through on it. That's what's going to make the difference. And that's where it's like, I go back to the Earl Nightingale thing.
Having a mentor?
What's that?
Is that like having a mentor? It's a good idea to have a mentor.
Yeah, it's good to have a mentor, but a lot of the problems that people run into, it's like, you know, most of the big name mentors out there, yeah, you're paying $9.97 or up to $2,000 or more just to not even deal with them direct. So it's like, but if you do have like this community, like we're talking here about, you know, with the domino effect, where the more people that you're dealing with like-minded people, those people, you'll actually probably learn and get more help from those people around you than the mentor in the program that you're enrolled in. So that's where, because that mentor, once he gets that $9.97 or $19.99 or whatever, you know, he's smiling away at himself in the mirror, and he doesn't give a crap whether you succeed or not anyways. He's already got your money. But the people,
to the bank.
Yeah. And it's like, so what, but if you have an actual community where people are, you know, on the same level, like-minded people, and they're all working towards the same type of goal of bettering themselves or sharing their opportunity or whatever it is, then when you go to reach out to those people in that community, they're going to say, yeah, I'd be more than happy to help you. And that's where you get that, that confidence, that self-esteem to actually keep doing it. And then it's like, as you start, you know, you're believing in yourself, but then as all this is happening, people are helping you more, you start believing more and more and more in that vision, and your, I guess your aura, how you present yourself, that increases and gets better over time. And then before you know it, you're doing what you thought you never could do. And that's where a lot of people, that's where I enjoy doing these talks with everybody, because even if like one person listens to this, there might be 100 people that watch this and they're like, Rick don't know what the hell he's talking about. But there's one person that says, you know what, he's right. Well, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing about doing it in a group too, because some people won't relate to you. It's just, they just won't. And some people won't relate to me, but there's probably someone here that at some stage they're going to pick up something and get that little, because it just I call it a light bulb. I think everyone calls it a light bulb. Like, it just takes that one thing someone says for something to click that can just literally change the whole game. Because it was that one key bit of information.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, any one of us tonight could have said just one little thing that has changed the course of somebody's life that's watching us now.
Yeah.
It might be something you said, Scott. It might be something Marlon said, Rick, me. Doesn't matter. As if one of us has made a difference to somebody's life by just giving them that light bulb moment, then it's been worthwhile. And I think that's what us as Web Talk Legends, that I think that's what we're about, isn't it? We're about trying to give people that knowledge, that help. It's not about what we can do for us, it's what we can do for everybody else.
Well, nothing's for us really. Traffic, like other than the build up traffic, we're not really going to get anything out of it. But being able to be the face of something is pretty just a reward in itself. But when you think about it,
I think sharing your story is pretty powerful as well. Like you mentioned, Aid, that used to be the guy that sits at the back and says nothing, but look at you now. You've stepped out of your comfort zone and come to practically to the front of the class.
Yeah, you're sitting on top of Marlon.
Yeah.
The host always gets this spot, so I'm fine.
Yeah. And I think it's your backstory. Your journey online is for anybody is people it helps people. People can either relate to it or resonate with it, and it can be encouraging for others who are afraid to step out of their comfort zone, and doing these lives for me compared to recorded videos is a different dynamic, right? And as you guys know, that recorded videos is easy because you can reshoot them a couple of thousand times if you have to get them right.
Yeah.
With live, it's a different dynamic. It's like because you're virtually standing in front of the whole world, public speaking, and as we know, that's one of the I think that's the number one. I think it still is the number one fear in the world is public speaking, and I know that's something that's hard for me as well, and it's something that terrifies me and makes me nervous and everything, and when I got started doing videos. And I was encouraged to do video. Rick knows Aaron Chen. Aaron Chen, he encouraged me to start a YouTube channel and start doing videos. And I wouldn't have dreamed of wouldn't even consider doing that. Doing video because I'm not I'm introverted. I hated English class at school. It was an epic fail. Wasn't articulate or hated writing compositions or essays or creative writing. I just loathed English. That's why I was just an epic failure. I passed every other subject, in high school or college. I passed physics, maths, engineering, technical drawing, but when it came to English, epic fail. And for a guy like me, introverted, to do video, oh my God. But I stepped out, just jumped, like I said, I'm the type of person, if I want to do something, I'll just jump in the deep end, sink or swim. Yeah. In regards to doing video, and this is a fear that a lot of people have, and that's understandable. I can understand, I can relate to that, right? And but and these lives, the lives are a different dynamic, and it's for me, public speaking it terrifies me. It terrifies a lot of people. So this is what these lives are like. So you just gotta be able to prepare to step out of your comfort zone and just do it. Don't think it. Don't overanalyze it, and just take the plunge. And just
create a new comfort zone.
I'm not where I am. Where I want to be in regards to video yet, but that's just me. It takes me 100 times longer than anybody else to get good at something.
I keep looking on Amazon.
I actually haven't done a video yet, but I intend to.
I'll fill my Amazon cart up with stuff like camera and speakers and this and that, and then I go to check out and it's like, I don't need it. Cross. What
you can do if you feel natural and find these lives easy, doing video is nothing.
I'm sure you're right, Marlon. I'm sure you're right.
To you. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe the two of us should have a bit of a chat about it sometime, and let's get my confidence up on that, because I'm I'm totally confident with doing what I'm doing now. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. But the thought of doing a video still phases me a bit. But I'll get there. I've moved from one comfort zone, which is sitting at the back of the room, to this one where I'm doing lives regularly.
My first video, I wish I kept it, because it was, I don't know, probably about 5-10 seconds or something, but it was just me holding a phone. I just went, I shouldn't have done. I should have kept it so I could show everyone. It was intended for YouTube. I had it all planned out in my head, everything. Never made it to YouTube. All it was just going, I got my idea. Oh, fuck this. Like that was it. So it's I guess it's hard on some people, but it took me a lot to get on video.
Oh boy.
I know Aaron Chen, he said just get your phone out, push record, and talk about yourself for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and that's what someone said. That's what made me
over 10 times. And then by the 10th time, you'll notice the difference. Should notice the improvement.
I'll tell you guys a story when we're not live anymore.
Yeah, well, we're about to finish up anyway. So thanks everyone for coming. We're on the hour mark. We won't take it too long. Everyone needs their time. It's very valuable. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you've got some value. If you've got any suggestions, anything is lacking, feel free to put in the comments. If we can make a whole subject about it, we will. Okay, so the more feedback we get, the better. So that feedback guides us. Okay, so I just want to say that feedback guides us in the direction most people want to head. Without the feedback, we don't know the direction. We're just running wild.
Yeah.
So if you need any help with any area, that's what we want to try and do. All right. So thanks everyone for being here.
And invite other people to come and watch.
Yeah, well, it's getting more and more, so it's good. All right. Thanks everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Sweet.
Take care.
God bless.
Cheers.